Charlie?
I live like a capitalist every single day, Chank. I live as a capitalist, okay?
hey.
I live when I believe.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Alpha Empire. Today I brought you more clips of woke people getting humbled. There comes a day when every man grows tired of these wokies nonsense, and that's when they put them in their place. Let's roll the clips. This next video stars an entitled trans woman. She thinks she's amazing and perfect, even though she's not. This is a classic example of how being a woman, even as a trans woman, will make you delusional. They hype each other up, making each other's delusions even higher, and confirming them. Let's play the clip.
I'm Allie, better known for Aleezy. I'm 23 years old from Arizona, and I'm a certified bad bitch.
You're,
A certified baddie. I'm a fucking plus size trans woman living in Arizona.
Wait,
like,
did you say you're trans? Wait, you're trans?
Yes, I'm trans.
I thought,
I feel like in the last year or so, like my style is like ever so changing when it comes to confidence. Mainly because like compared to when I was like 21 or 22.
Chase, why are you laughing? Chase, why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Sorry, he's laughing.
Please continue.
He's
Please
laughing at the
continue.
chat. Fucking Chase.
21, 22.
Please continue.
How dare you, Chase?
Please continue, as you were saying.
No, just like basically saying that like compared to when I was younger, like let's say I'm wearing like a little black slip dress and you know like a little wedge to the club with a YSL bag. That would make me feel pretty, but like as I'm getting older, it's like almost like when I cover up, it's like you feel more beautiful. But I guess that's something that comes with age, and like I feel like a lot of younger girls.
Yeah, like in high school, you're just gonna want to wear what every other girl wears, like a crop top and like some booty shorts or whatever.
Yeah. Can I
But-
specifically ask this to you? We totally don't have to speak about it if you're uncomfortable, but what age did you start identifying as a woman?
This next clip involves a petty woman who was trying to make fun of and taunt a guy. She called the man immature and acted as if she was better than him. The guy decided to humble her by saying that at least he wasn't second choice 3 times in a row. The woman started crying because she couldn't handle her own pill. Let's roll the clip.
Honestly, you're so immature, it's actually embarrassing.
Alright, cool, but...
Next.
Some. I know.
Hey, come on, man.
I'm the second choice like 3 times in it, so...
Did you hear what he just said? What? He said, say that again. What did he say? Go on, what? Jess, what did he say? Go on, say it, go on. Go on, say it.
I said you're the one that's been second choice like 3 times in it, so... She's first person out, brother.
Speak here and generally.
Come on, you wish.
But the thing is, it's tit for tat. People give it and people take it, so it is what it is. You give it, you've got to be able to take it. Sometimes people say things that aren't very nice.
Wait, bro, because I'm not being funny, she's crying.
We can all tell that those are clearly crocodile tears. She cried because she knew that if she cried, it would make the man look like the bad guy, even though she was the one who started it. Do you guys think that gender and sex are the same thing? And if not, does that mean that we can also define race by our own understanding? Because from my understanding, gender is clearly linked to biology, which is sex. But if gender can be changed based on our preferences or our decisions, then can our race also be changed in a similar manner? If I identify as a black man, will I be a black man? I don't think so. This next clip involves Piers Morgan's using this same analogy to question the standards of these wokies.
If I now identify as a black man, am I a black man?
Why are you conflating race with gender, Pierce?
I'm just asking you a question, Ernest.
That's intellectually dishonest.
If I identify...
That's intellectually dishonest.
Maybe, but it's a question you don't want to answer, isn't it? If self-identity is limitless...
Because race is not the same as gender.
Ernest.
Because race is not the same as gender.
Am I a black man if I say I'm a black man?
No, because you're a white man, because
Thank you.
it's race.
So you don't respect my right to identify as a black man, do you? Do you think it's ridiculous?
You can identify as a black man. You can identify as a black man, Pierce, but I know you lean on white privilege more than anything else.
Okay, just to be clear, you wouldn't respect my rights to identify as a... You don't respect my rights to identify as a black man. In fact, you think it's ridiculous, don't you, Ernest?
You could. Pierce, you could if you wanted to. And the reality is
would you respect me,
a white man like you
would you respect
can identify
me,
as black
and not
be
refer to
harmed
me as
in
a
the
black
same way
man?
that a transgender person would.
Would you respect me and refer to me as a black man?
No.
Thank you, Ernest. Okay.
In this next clip, Charlie Kirk decimates a struggling individual. Let's see the clip.
You think it's an insult to be manly?
Well,
yeah, I would see it. You're crossing your legs like a queer.
I could see that you're a struggling individual. So let me ask you, are you trans?
I am a man. None of the right talks about trans men, and I want to know why. Make eye contact with me, please, like a man.
Wow.
People who
Wait, so you acknowledge that I'm a man? I thought that you're like this trans activist.
I am a man, and you are a man, and
Well,
you'll look me in the eye like a man.
I'm not sure what you are, but okay.
Look me in the eyes,
women.
please. Come on. Are you autistic? Here, look here, look here.
I can look anywhere I please. Calm down a little bit, okay?
Do you know how to make eye contact?
Yeah, I do, and I can also look at the audience because I'm mature enough not to have to stare you at all the time because I'm not a psychopath, okay?
Whoa!
So.
This next clip involves a wokie who's misgendering a man, but she doesn't realize that this is contradictory to her own stance, because she's the one who believes that anyone can be anything, and a man and woman are relative and personal choice.
What gender do you think you are?
I'm a male.
Maybe I think you're a woman.
No, legally I'm a male. It says on my driver's license that I'm a male.
What if I say I don't believe you?
It doesn't matter.
What gender do you think I am?
I would assume you're female.
See, you're making assumptions.
Yes.
I identify as non-binary.
Respectfully, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
What pronoun should I use?
You should use they, them pronouns.
What if I don't?
If you don't, I would consider that disrespectful, and that's actually an act of violence to intentionally misgender someone.
Here we come to the issue. You just said that's an act of violence. That means
Yes.
it's an actionable offense. That means it's a crime. We have no idea how many pronouns there are. We can never know how many pronouns there are. And to not use a proper pronoun
You could ask.
is an act of violence against them. Did you ask my pronouns before you sat down?
No, I didn't ask your pronouns.
You just talked about me being privileged. You understand? No one goes around asking pronouns before they speak with people.
Hey guys, I got a question for you. Should all athletes earn the same amount of money? For example, should athletes in the WNBA earn the same amount as athletes in the NBA? Please let me know in the comments down below.
Now, if they make it to the final, the girls will get $5,500 each. The blokes will get $69,000 each. Each! How can anyone justify this item?
They can't.
No.
I mean, the gender... I beg your pardon?
I can justify it.
How?
Why?
Why? I tell you what, stars don't get paid more money because, a sport doesn't become interesting because the stars are paid more money. Stars get paid more money because the sport is interesting. Let me ask you this. How many of you guys on the panel know who our Australian Matildas are playing in the quarterfinals? No, because you don't care about it. Now, when you start to go and watch these women play the wonderful football they do, then they'll earn more money.
But I don't go to watch the men play football either.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people do, Ita. The Men's World Cup is one of the biggest money spinners on the planet. Women's football, even though at grassroots level it's working really, really well, it's got a long way to go. The other thing, let me ask you this about sports equality. The top 10 fastest men of all time in terms of sprinters are all black, of African origin. Are you telling me that the white guys should say, hold on, we should be paid just as much as the black guys for sprinting? No, because they're not as fast.
Is a man less of a man if he can't change a flat tire?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is a woman less of a woman if she can't cook a meal from scratch?
We're biased. We're women.
No, that's not a good answer.
Do you believe we're in a transitional phase between women being old-fashioned and being independent?
Yes, we're already there.
If so, what are we transitioning to?
Feminism. I hope we're transitioning to women and men being equal.
We're transitioning into a lot of women being cat ladies.
Do you think a woman would be welcomed at a woman's march if she's pro-life or has traditional values?
Nope.
So do feminists really care
Not
about all
nowadays.
women or just the women who agree with them?
Feminists do not care about women.
So is it really about women's choice?
No, because it's not allowing each individual woman to decide for herself. It's not respecting each individual woman. It's conforming to a propaganda.
I can respect these women for at least being honest, that they are biased. Most women don't accept that they have a lot of double standards, and that equality only matters to them when it benefits them. Charlie Kirk brings a great point in this next clip. He asked the women on the panel if they see the inconsistency between modern day feminists, where they want men to go to war for them but they don't want to go with them, even though if we were truly equal, both men and women would have to deal with going to the military.
For those of you that said you were feminist, do you see any inconsistency between saying that you want equality but you're cool with sending men to run into machine guns to protect your society? Does anyone wrestle with that?
I didn't say I was a feminist.
I'm not going to allow you guys to weasel your way out of Charlie's question here. Those of you who consider yourself feminist, how do you reconcile being a feminist, being for equality, but also not being in favor of women being subject to forced military conscription the same way that men are?
Well, then if I'm not a feminist under your eyes, then that's fine. I just...
Would you acknowledge, though, that that would be a pure equality between men and women?
Yeah. If everyone
So you're not in
got
favor
drafted,
of equality
yeah.
when it doesn't stand to benefit women?
Yeah, but again, I never pushed for 100% equality within feminism. Not
So
every
you only
feminist
want the
believes
equality that benefits women?
No, I want the equality that benefits humanity.
How would you define being woke?
God. Intensely annoying.
I think woke is kind of just progressive culture, and I feel like it gets kind of vilified by a lot of right-wing, I don't know, older generations to kind of just label young people's ideologies, and I think it can be used in a damaging way.
It really depends on what sense you're using it in. I think there's like for and against arguments for it in every way. I think people should just let people be who they want to be and do what they want to do without having to be like, you're on this side, you're on that side, you're being so woke.
There's forms of political correctness that I find utterly stifling. It cuts out the possibility for dialogue. This whole idea of a cancel culture terrifies me. I think identity politics can be taken to extremes.
I guess just being aware of your surroundings and like the current climate, and I think just adjusting yourself to whatever environment that you're in. There is some genuineness and wokeness, and like there's some good things coming out of it. There are some bad, there are some performative people who are woke, but you know, there's good in everything, there's bad in everything.
Everyone is judge and jury, and the verdict is out before no one has time to even, scroll to the next image on their phone.
I see like a lot of the older generations, they use, oh yeah, the woke agenda is such a bullshit thing. But no, woke is just another word for like having a progressive society,
The original feminist movement was about true equality, while nowadays it has become a movement about elevating women. Wokies put men down while lifting women up. If women continue to subscribe to this movement, they will end up as cat ladies. A lot of them.
If you guys also think being woke is extremely annoying, then click the like button down below.
This next clip is absolutely amazing. A woman asks a black man if he identifies as black. Ain't that a new one? You would suppose that she can see that he is black from his skin color, but no, she needs further confirmation because he may identify as a different race. Check this clip out, guys.
Do you identify as black? No, it's a serious question because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you. Okay.
When I walked into the room,
I am not done with my question.
Oh, young lady.
I'm just asking you to listen to me while
I'm about to answer your first question.
But I didn't finish my question.
Okay. Yeah, I'm black.
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a
so
registered
I
voter.
vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. Yeah? Wait, hold on. How is it any different than a professor talking to you?
Then a professor talking to you? Who are you?
Well, important enough for you to come up to a microphone.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you can see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong with talking
Well, that's
to
what we're
voters.
doing here today. It's an open mic.
I think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
If you're old enough to vote, then you're old enough to discuss important topics that involve this country's future.
Well, first of all, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
Well, what does fetus mean?
A fetus is in utero.
What does fetus mean in Latin?
What the f? I'm sorry, is this
It means little human being.
The smile is very creepy. Okay,
Smiling is creepy?
No, your smile specifically.
Got it.
But let's go back to, we're losing track here.
No, but what species is the fetus?
The fetus is not a species yet. It's technically classified as a parasite until it is viable.
So,
now, I want to talk to you about something very quickly.
I can't get past that. Are you
sorry.
saying a baby is a disease or a tumor?
A parasite is not a disease and a tumor. Those are not the same thing. A
parasite
parasite is defined as something that cannot survive outside of its host. A baby, before it is viable, cannot survive outside of a woman's womb.
Got it. So let's
Therefore,
extrapolate that.
It is not a living organism.
Fetus, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, means specifically a developing human being.
In what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labour.
A huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. Where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely...
Jordan Peterson is right in saying that society may be dominated by men in many categories, but society is also dominated by men in many unfavorable categories.
Would you describe yourself as a feminist?
Yes.
Do you believe in gender equality?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so how do you reconcile believing in gender equality, but also holding men to their traditional gender roles of paying for the first date?
Well, I'm just saying that's my personal view. A woman being a feminist is just doing whatever you want to do and not being bashed by society for that.
Well, I'm just asking you said that men should pay immediately, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, if you believe in gender equality, don't you think you ought to split the bill on the first date?
No, because my main concern with gender equality is through, like, yes, in society, like, fixing that, and through, like, the system, but yeah, I don't, oh my god.
Hold on,
you just like,
Try to keep a straight face. Try to keep the straight face, John.
No, I'm done talking.
The media influences and brainwashes women to think that society is against them from the beginning. But in reality, all of society is helping them from the beginning. These wokies don't understand their own double standards.
Men date down?
Yeah.
No.
It's way harder for men to get women than the reverse.
I'll tell you, I've like flirted with guys that I know are out of my league, and they don't want anything to do with me.
Yeah.
So they don't date down.
Well, it's not a guarantee that all men are going to, but I would say generally speaking, men will date down.
Are you talking about social class or attractiveness?
Both.
Oh.
Men will definitely date down social class.
You could argue that.
A man who's a doctor, a man who's an attorney will date a barista. A female attorney, a female doctor, she's probably not looking a barista's way.
You're just a bigot. You can go.
Oh, what makes me a bigot, ma'am? Or sir? I'm not sure. I didn't misgender you, did I?
Oh, please, go fuck yourself.
Oh, that's not very ladylike.
Oh, now you're fucking misgendering me. Ladylike.
Oh, well, what are you exactly?
None of your fucking business. What are you?
But you said I misgendered you. If I don't know what you are, how can I not misgender you?
No, let's be honest. He's got a point.
Are men and women equal?
Actually, women are better than men. What do men bring to the world? Literally nothing. Women, the vibes, just everything.
Everything you know and love. If you look around the entire infrastructure of our nation, our economy, every building you walk into, the way that you are portraying your ideas and opinions is through technology and infrastructure and an economy and a nation that was not only built, but it's still maintained to this day by men.
Did men allow you to have that haircut?
You taking personal attacks makes me seem like the more intelligent.
Okay, I understand.
Validate your point, not some personal attack because you're losing the argument. Feminism stops whenever it's inconvenient for y'all. By definition, you are delusional if you cannot defend your ideas.
You should go.
I actually don't go to therapy.
I am extremely proud of seeing this young man stand up for himself. While these women berate him, he's able to articulate himself and use good arguments against these women while they attack him personally.
She wasn't ready.
Someone gets rich doesn't mean someone gets poor.
Yes, it does.
Explain that
In
to
this
me.
society, it does.
Explain that to me. When you
someone gets
bought
richer-
your hat, who got poor?
The people who made the hat.
They voluntarily contributed their labor
did
and they
not.
got paid for it.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
There's workers in other countries who are enslaved to make things that I'm wearing right now.
Then why would you buy it?
Wearing. Because there's no other options in our capitalist country. There are no other options in our capitalist country.
That's totally and factually incorrect. Make your own clothes.
There aren't very many options for that.
Well, so what you're trying to say is you outsource your goods and services in a capital voluntary because you don't want to spend the time to go make your own clothes.
Basing an entire economic system on capital, on wealth, is not the best for each person in the world.
So you would want to live in a communal society, essentially, right? So why don't you go live like the Amish right now and go do it because they live in a communal society?
That's not the point.
It really saddens me to see what wokeism does to people. It ruins them and changes them in a really negative way.
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who actively feel victimized by your presence here today? Additionally, you just pointed out that this man detransitioned, but earlier in your speech you...
Guys, I want to hear her. Go ahead. What do I have to say? Just the question, please. No speech. What is the question?
What do you have to say to the trans students on this campus who feel actively victimized by your presence here?
Life's tough. Get a helmet, man. I'm too pregnant for this. Next question.
Many woke people don't understand that life is tough and they have to deal with their problems. Nobody is coming to save you.
It's like, well, if going out on a date with a guy makes me a slut, then that's just what I'm gonna be.
I don't think going out on a date makes you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker.
I'm not sure I quite agree with the man here. A slut maker is also a bob or a male whore. What do you guys think?
Finally, it's time for my favorite clip. Here we have an annoying Wokey who was being extremely disrespectful to Charlie Kirk. Although out of Charlie's character, it was completely understandable how he was so mad. Aligning with these Wokey's character, the other Wokey was cunning and saw this opportunity to get Charlie even angrier. He followed Charlie and purposely taunted him while telling him to go back to his seat in order to arouse Charlie's anger even more and make Charlie seem like a fool. Charlie was able to calm down and sit back in his seat and was able to offset the taunts from the other Wokey. Let's roll the clip.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live what I believe.
No.
What do? I get charity every single year.
Hold on.
What's my salary? Less than his.
Charlie, take a seat.
Come on, Shank, let's go.
Charlie,
what are you doing?
Take a seat. Take a seat.
Psycho?
All right, no. Take a seat. You're gonna take a seat. You're gonna take a seat over here.
Oh my God.
What's my salary?
All right.
Ridiculous.
All right, behave, everyone. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I practice what I preach, Shank.
Charlie.
You do not practice what you preach.
Charlie.
Anyways guys, that's it for today. If you want more videos like this, leave a comment down below and like the video please. It helps me a lot. And be sure to subscribe and turn on push notifications to know when I release my next video. Catch you later.